Oh dang! I guess our mics are live. Well, with Frank's retirement home, I believe this is the Walker division between the CyberPunk Otters and the Ice Age Mammoths. I know they're actually just called Ice Age, but their logo to my left, right, and above me, King Ballers on the chair too. A good friend here for making his debut on Frank's Salty AMV on the camera. King Ballers, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Terrible. Anyways, getting the picks of bands here. As we see the first band come, a Thoth band, King Boss. What do you think about that one?
A very, very smart pick or ban, just for the fact that he's so easy to play at a distance and cause so much mayhem with his damage late game. Plus the objective steals that most Thoths can do. Very key, so very good ban by the Cyberpunk Otters, followed by a Hachi ban, who, in my opinion, is probably the top ADC in the game right now.
Yeah, not just your opinion. Hi-Res clearly agreed too, as he's the only hunter who got touched, I believe, in this next coming patch. But yeah, Hachi been very safe. Bake Kujira also gonna get hit. No one really wants to play against that god. Can you tell me why, Mr. Bowlers?
Slow, slow, slow.
All right. But yeah, no, Baki Kujira, very good lane bully, gets a lot of early pressure. Vomit also going to be taking Athena going to be taking that. So some strong picks still left up on the board with one band left, bars.
I personally, I was getting ready to say Cuckoo is probably going to come out with a ban here, and there he is. Very dominant mid laner. You can just throw your tornado down and walk away and go farm elsewhere and try to get ahead of the enemy mid laner and rotate and get some pressure on some other lanes.
Bologna.
Unsurprisingly, the Bologna going to be first pick. Many consider her one of the best solo laners in the game right now, mainly due to her strong
Maman
laning phase.
Brigitte.
As Ice Age is going to lock in the mom in a pick that's kind of fallen by the wayside here a bit, ballers. Can you maybe tell us why and what it still brings to the table?
Not a lot of people know how to maximize her abilities. A lot of people just will take it through the jungle and try to play it like a standard Al Kwong, and she's very unique, especially with her auto cancels. Um, so it does take a dedicated player to really maximize her potential.
I would have to agree with you. Still a couple, maybe a little bit surprising, however, the Chernobog, a god that doesn't get a lot of playtime lately. Can you tell me what Chernobog does that other hunters doesn't?
Well, Chernobog doesn't really, with the new layout of the map and the teleports, his alt isn't as utilized as it could be. So I foresee a split push with an alt into team fights come from this Chernobog.
Yeah, I was surprised by the Chernobog. At least I could see it. A pick I am really surprised, however, about Donza Burrow. Why may a team pick him very early like this?
Danza can really sustain himself. If a good ADC can play Danza, he can take on some of the top ADCs and burst them down with his 2-1 combo. And just the ability to confuse with his dash once he steps out of his circle. Um, Honestly, not surprised to see a Ganesh pick here followed with this Danza. There's just going to be a lot of CC in that dual lane once they hit about level 4-5. So I predict a really hyper aggression from this Cyberpunk Otters duo lane.
I have to concur with you a bit, maybe a little bit less on the aggression part, as Ganesh not really the best in lane. But no, I have to agree with you. But Ice Age gonna have an important pick here. Maybe try to lock in one of these solo laners that are very priority, such as the Osiris, for instance, or even Odin's pretty good right now, Mr. Ballers.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know how to play against the Odin, and with the changes to the relics, I as someone who actually played a Odin support recently in a comp match, I had 3 shells upgraded by 15 minutes.
Gilgamesh, however, is going to be picked, so this most likely means Gilgamesh solo unless they feel like they're going to take the Mom and Birgitte into mid. And since they're banning mid laners, this could very well be a Mom and Birgitte mid.
It could be. It could be also that they know what Deacon can play, and they're just trying to eliminate his comfort picks. Um, as I know, a few uh, teams around the league actually do go in and do their research on who they're playing for that week and try to get an idea of what they've seen them play, what they're good with, and right, yet another mid laner ban right there, Scylla. Not, I think these are more target bans than anything.
That could be the case, but we're going to see some interesting bands on the other side. Ares going to be taking a hit. Really good match with the Gilgamesh. I recently played it in my Frank set. Sobek also going to be picked here. Very good support. So Ice Age may be scrounging for the barrel of supports, but there are still some strong supports left.
I personally would like to see.
Not that.
I wasn't going to say that. I was saying a Kuzumbo to cause a lot of mayhem early, especially with his dash followed up by his ult and just kind of catch mid laners out, even the jungle, especially if they've already used their dash or their jumps. But I mean, we'll see. They might go for a double ADC here with that Fafnir pick.
Yeah, that could be the case. I'm personally not a big fan of Fafnir right now, but speaking of gods, I'm not a big fan of Eset. Gonna be picked here. Erlong Jungle also coming out. What do you think about the Cyberpunk Otters comp so far?
I see them literally W keying, trying to keep everyone under tower, maximize farm. I wouldn't be surprised if this Erlong even goes mannequins um, in the jungle, try to get that burn on with his attack speed and his taunt with his ult. It's yeah, I see that the Cyberpunk Otters trying to end this in sub 25 minutes.
Medusa.
That's particularly rough to do as Medusa gonna come out here. So I believe if you were the Ice Age, which lane would you put this Medusa in and why?
I'd put Medusa in mid. She can utilize both the auto attack and the ability, especially with her anti hail built into her spit. Definitely can cause a lot of mayhem with that.
I have to agree, especially because if you didn't put her in mid, that would mean Chernobyl would have to go mid, and you just don't get enough value out of that global if you put it in mid.
Very true. But like I said, the Trinity Ball could just split push if the team fights in this solo lane or even the duo lane, and then just alt right over to the fight. But I'm definitely looking forward to this matchup. I'm leaning more towards the Cyberpunk Otters here. What are your thoughts?
Well, I believe, in my opinion, that this Otters comp I liked it infinitely more than this Ice Age comp because both comps clearly want to run at you early, except for the fact Ice Age is weird to where their duo lane scales pretty hard late, but are pretty bad early, and I think it just kind of square pegs their comp a little bit. Mainly the picks that throw me through the loop here are the Gilgamesh Medusa, but again, this is Walker division, so if you're really comfortable on a god, you just pick them and you probably just demolish some people. I really like this Otters comp. They have a lot of CC. Every one of their gods in on their team have multiple forms of CC
Mm-hmm.
that can make you easy to lock down. So it's going to be very important for this Ice Age team to manage their beads and or cloaks if they should so choose to go that way. But I think the Otters comp is just easier to execute and scales just a little bit better.
I agree 100%.
Well, getting in the game here, ballers. Let's take a looky look at some things. Do you notice anything that's quite maybe a little bit different than what you usually see?
Um, honestly, the Medusa going leather cow in mid. Um, Not 100% sure what they're looking for in that. I mean, they could be just looking to play a
Just
little
go
bit
to auto attack.
safer. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, all the builds look pretty standard. Ganesh looks like Titus is opting to do the first item and then starter. One of the pet peeves of a lot of casters.
Now I have to agree with you, Bars, but now I do actually want to point out something about Titus. You don't usually see it nowadays, but this benevolence going to come out. A lot of supports, no matter what you're playing right now, but maybe besides you measure going that war flag. What does benevolence give you over war flag that maybe why Titus went in?
I could see him going into. Um, oh, I lost my train of thought there. That's the ADHD kicking in.
Heroism, compassion.
Yes, heroism. Just because of all the forms of CC that the um,
Ice Age.
Ice Age. Sorry, the team names. I usually look for the team names. Ice Age has over there with Medusa Dash, the Fafnir Axe. If you get caught by the Chernobog 2-1 combo, you have Gilgamesh and his ult and his kick. So there's just a lot of CC from Ice Age as well. So he's just probably trying to look to use the heroism to really help in the team fights late game.
I have to agree with you, but looking at the map state right now, Medusa is taking quite a lot of poke in this mid lane, and Erlang Shen is actually like somewhere else right now. I don't know. Gonna get into these left camps finally, but actually not even gonna do that. Gonna maybe look for a pin on this Medusa. No, just a lot of running around here, boys.
Yeah, there's a lot of running around.
He just did his lap. He's going back.
Honestly, a couple little dances going on there in the mid lane.
As the action is at quite a lull here, I do actually want to point out one more starter. I just noticed that I believe Medusa just got her beads forced. As the fight breaks out in mid, Erlang Shen gets stunned by the Mom gonna get the minions are gonna get the last as Jolt picks up the kill. Huge play there from the Mom and Medusa combining their damage there. Almost a nice peel job from Deacon there, but not enough.
Yeah, definitely. I like how you pointed out the beads instantly, followed up by the cleanup there by Medusa. Wasn't honestly expecting a early pick like that, but after the little lap that he took, I mean, might have changed my opinion a little bit.
Berry toppings typically in the solo lane, gonna be playing jungle for this set. Kind of a different mindset here. As the fight breaks out alongside the shield buff here, it's going to be important to see as Gilgamesh actually jumps in here. Bologna could go on top of him if he wants to, but won't actually do that as Erlang Shen has made an appearance. Pin is good. Gilgamesh, no lead, will fall very quickly to small face, and Captain Boat 6954, maybe a little bit too greedy with his leap there.
Just a little bit, and then you followed up with the blink with the Erlang, so he's right back into another fight. Trying to help out over there, and it looks like they're even trying to invade on that blue buff and try to keep Captain Boat from being able to have.
Well, Brigitte does confirm, but it's going to cost her life as up down by Bologna, but a huge stun getting two. Gilgamesh going to hop over the wall. Erlang Shen going to int under the tower for it. Now, dropkick is good. A lot of tower shots going to be coming out, but it looks like Bologna and Berry Toppings are able to get out with just the skin of their teeth there.
And just like that, Erlang's right back in the game. An assist followed up with a kill and an invade, and now they can go right back to farming.
Just how volatile this is. I do want to point out something, however, I didn't get a chance to say it before these fights break out, is that I'm actually concerned about this Bologna's late game with what starter they chose in here with Death's Toll.
Yeah, you normally, I would normally see an axe in this on this Bologna, so I'm not sure if they're gonna. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing a Kens and more attack and power from this Bologna more than a hybrid build that you normally see from a Bologna.
Gilgamesh, not afraid of the ones, however, despite being down 2 levels, going to lose this trade quite handily. He's going to have to realize he needs to center his tower for quite a bit here. And this has to feel bad if you're the Gilgamesh.
Yeah, that's one thing that you can't afford to do with the Gilgamesh is fall behind.
And he uses leap here, get out secured, and now we peer in the vet. Erlungshen has found the Mom and Brigitte. Mom and Brigitte gets the stun off. Now her dash is over. This could be bad if Erlang wants to turn on her. Does not predict the dash correctly and has to cancel his dash. Mammon does get out successfully. As we see in the right lane, Smallface has picked this Captain Boat 6954 here, and things have just gone bad to worse for this solo laner.
Yep, like I was just saying, you can't afford to fall behind, and I think at this point he's just trying to force something, and it's just not going in his favor at all.
We have a pause here as we maybe it gives us a chance to recollect our bearings here. As it looks like Captain Boat did DC, but I'm pretty sure he was alive for the solo there. No hiding from the watchful eye of Sauron here, known as Salt.
No.
But with that though, Salty, do you want to throw us to the break, or are we gonna tough this one out? All right, we should be fine. All right, then I'll keep waffling. I'll keep. But let's actually take a look at the map state here. We see that this 2-level lead in the solo lane. If you're the Ice Age, how would you go about dealing with that before maybe it gets too out of hand, or is it already out of hand?
It's not quite out of hand. I think at this point, what they need to do is just say, hey, listen, you're behind. You just need to farm safely, take what farm you can get. We need you to start getting items online, need you getting level. Maybe even the Mammon coming over and trying to sneak a gank, get some pressure back on the Ice Age side, let this Gilgamesh farm a little bit easier. Um, just showing up and being present sometimes from a jungler is all you need just to allow a little bit of relief in your lanes. It's not always about getting the ganks and getting the kills. It's saying, hey, I'm still here. Don't forget about me. And TKOs. Take your TKOs where you can.
All right, and now that's one of the advantages of going a dual typing in the jungle solos, that you can actually gank the solo laner pretty easily with a good amount of damage, because especially this Bellona, who opted not to go the axe, does not have any magical procs just yet. So Mammon could look for an opportunity there as the game is finally going to resume here. Bellona taking her victory and reveling in it as mid lane there's a scuffle going on. As we see, Erlang actually dashes on top of the Medusa, has to use his beads taunt here. Eset, gonna be dropped, gonna be used to heal herself, and that's it, but it may cost her life as Deacon getting caught overextending a little bit in that fight.
Yeah, we had all 4 ults expanded there. The Mammon, the Medusa, as well as the Erlang taunt, followed up by the Eset ult as well to try to heal and maybe even get some damage out. But looks like Deacon does take the death there. Jolt is now up 2-0 over Deacon with his Medusa. Already building stacks on his Devo's gloves. So already making me eat my words about this Medusa mid and the build. Looks like he's handling it pretty well.
Gilgamesh jumps in here, may not want to keep doing that. Bellona opting not to punish him for it, but Erlungshen actually going to re-gank the Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh gonna eat the Eagles rally, gonna get stunned. Half health is the Gilgamesh, no dash, and just a free kill for Barry Toppings on this rotation. And eventually, the definition of Xanity has to come in here. Stop jumping on the wave.
I think it's officially out of hand in this solo lane. And I wouldn't be surprised if we just see
Mom is gonna get the stun off here. Erlang is in big trouble. Fafnir gonna jump in to get some damage off. Lemkin, who finds the kill. Horrific. Gonna be popped to peel out the Mammon. And Fafnir pops. Oh. Gonna be used to clear a wave here. I don't think he's gonna get much else, but you never like to see this. Your support is 2 levels above your solo laner right now.
That's not good in any way, shape, or form. They definitely need to just discuss in comms. Hey, listen, we need you to stop being so aggressive, because clearly that aggression is not working. Let's focus on what we can do good.
Oh no. Jacob Frosty getting caught missing some Otters, had to jump to cope there, but so some solid training out. Dontzenberg looks to have about a half level lead on this Chernobog, so maybe that's where this blue team has to play through.
Yeah, and you can see here that the Cyberpunk Otters have about a
Huge Medusa ult catching the E set, not even to look away in time. Ganesh going to be used to peel, but not enough. Jolt finds the kill on the D-Kid and a huge amount of damage, but Erlong Shen has blinked in here. Gonna be used to taunt. Medusa gets taunted in, but Mom and Brigitte has rotated and hits the Ganesh with the ult. Erlong Shen gets the heal from his ult, should be able to dash out here, but the Ganesh maybe getting poached for his benevolence. As now Titus the Reaper gets picked in mid, and now it's 4-5. As Mom and Brigitte going to be looking for invade. Erlong Shed needs to be careful.
That was very aggressive by Barry Toppings there.
Barry Toppings is still being very aggressive in the back. You're going to get stunned. Dash caught. This should just be a dead Erlong if the rotations are good. Jolt hits every ability, but not enough damage has come out yet. And it looks like Barry Toppings just barely able to escape with his life there.
That was something there. That I guess I don't know the walkers too well at this point. They don't have any thought as far as slowing down and trying to farm. They just keep W key all the way.
Despite being horrendously down in solo, this Ice Age team does have a pretty decent lead in the mid lane, 2 levels up and 2 levels up in the jungle. So Ice Age, it's going to be a battle of raid bosses here to be.
And I do want to point out that Fafnir already almost has his gauntlet completely stacked, and after that death, Ganesh just got his gauntlet. So definitely already seen a big difference in the supports and rotation wise.
Donsbury doesn't know how the scepter works, unfortunately. For those of you who don't know how scepter works, if you're both in it when the rock dies, it's whoever's the last one to leave gets the scepter. So make sure you just sit there and out-trade your opponent.
You either die or you die trying to get it.
It's like it's the rule 1 of Smite now. If you ever played Rocket League, you have to sit in the circle. As Turnaball gonna look for a solo invade, gonna look like he's gonna get it, but it's gonna cost him maybe a little bit more. Actually, he's winning this trade, but Ganesha has used the Dharmic Pillars. Chernobog gets eaten by the slow. Horrific is going to be good. Silence comes out, silencing the Chernobog. Chernobog needs to walk away. Beads have been used. Chernobog does not have ult. Needs to be careful. Going to get stunned, knocked up. Chernobog root is going to come out, and successfully this Chernobog gets away. Not enough rotations, but in fact, speaking of rotations, Medusa getting rotated on in the middle of the Gold Fury. Going to get caught. Has to use ult to get himself out, and no kills come of this little skirmish in the left side of the map.
And yet here we go again. Oh, he didn't jump into the wave that time. He saved it. So he might have learned by the 10-minute mark not to jump the wave.
Yeah, stop jumping the wave, especially when you're losing the trade.
We do see that there's a full item level or item difference between this Bologna and this Gilgamesh.
Yeah, a little bit rough for the Gilgamesh, but very great for the Bologna. It's going to be interesting to see how this Bologna abuses his lead when they rotate out here. Maybe at first Beacon or maybe at first Gold Fury. But it looks like Gilgamesh is going to look to trade with this Bologna a little bit or just trying to clear the wave, but clearly is just losing this. And is... Now he jumped in! He's going to take more poke for his...
Hey, he is now 1 for 4 successfuls with those jump-ins.
As we see now, Mammon gonna look to confirm the blue, but Chernobog ults back the lane. That's an important tool down for survivability, especially knowing that he does not have beads.
I'm looking at builds here. You can see Cherno decided to go ahead and upgrade the Executioner to that Venom one, which does help with shields and healing.
I think there's a bigger issue with builds right now. The Gilgamesh looking to take the 1 still out of mana, needs to be careful. I think he'll just jump back here, but Medusa actually 1 health, gets stunned. Mom and Brigitte trying to peel her out. Ganesh Dharmic Pillars off the mark. Medusa barely lives, but Mom and Brigitte gonna get eaten by the pin here, and that's a pick for the side of the Cyberpunk Otters as Fafnir actually jumps in to try to contest, but nothing will come of it. I have to actually still question, though, back to the story, the Spectral second on this support.
I honestly don't see anything that makes you want to go. Like, granted, they do have a Cherno, and he has a diamond arrow, so I get that, but he can easily go into the pin arrow.
White breaks over the scepter as Fafnir going to establish dominance and take over the scepter. But yeah, no, usually going even if you think the enemy's going crit, you probably shouldn't actually build the spectral until
because they can just decide at this point, you know what, don't even worry about it. We're just gonna go full pin.
Chernobog
And
losing this pretty easily. Gonna need to be careful. Oh, as the lone money bag hits T Pity, Jacob Frostykens getting the solo onto T Pity.
that was quite an exchange there. Just goes to show what I was saying at the beginning of the cast. If you know how to play Don Zaburo, you can take on some of the top tier ADCs, and that clearly was the case there.
I'm gonna blink in here. Dash gets caught. You're gonna need to dash out this Mama. Gets hit by the Darwin Pillar, but huge Medusa all gonna stun too, but that leaves Medusa herself very vulnerable, out of position. Gonna get picked. Joel Fafnir turning to the Dragon Man, maybe looking to return some damage. Does leap in on the Ganesh. Ganesh looking to survive his own as this Fafnir is burning relatively fast. Calling Dragon Slayers. Mom and Brigitte now gonna get found by this Fed Bolena. Tell me someone you did not want to see on the map here. Does successfully dodge the Eagles rally and get out, but this should be a Gold Fury for the side of the Cyberpunk Otters.
There was a shutdown on the Medusa. She was 3-0-1. You also have the Aegis now from the Mammon that was used. Pretty sure Beads was used at one point there by the Medusa. So a lot of TKOs as well as KOs going in the favor for Cyberpunk Otters.
And those are the all-important KOs, because without those, you can TKO everyone, but you may not be confident to pull the Gold Fury with an ADC there, but when you kill them off the map, guaranteed Gold Fury there. As we see Erlong, very topics. I give him all the credit in the world. He is not afraid to look at these back cams as he's always there. Actually, that's his own, my bad. So ignore that.
Barry was actually in the Canes division last season. I actually picked him up on a trade, and we tried him out in a couple scrims to see how he would handle. He has a good general understanding of how the game works. It was just execution and positioning, so we worked with him. But I'm glad to see him back down here where he can comfortably compete and try to get better as a player. Definitely was not being that aggressive last season, I could tell you that.
Well, 3K to 4K gold lead here for this, I believe, the Cyberpunk Otters team. Have quite a bit of lead. Don Zaburo gonna get some wards out. Gonna get the flank off on Chernobog. Chernobog gonna eat some poke here probably. 2 off the mark. Frosty Cones clearly mad, or just wants to hear the Don Zaburo boing sound when he jumps. Leaps in place. That he missed this time.
And we see here, I was going to question the ward placement, but I definitely came in handy there with that Don Zaburo ward placement there to see that Mammon rotation. And it looks like Cyberpunk Otters is
Pyro gets pulled here. Medusa ult is good. No one can last hit the Pyro as it stays at 1 health for so long. Ganesha going to be in trouble. So is Erlong. Erlong getting chased by the Mammon. Dash off the mark. Erlong going to be able to get away here. Gets the blink off, and now the fight takes on. Titus the Reaper gets dragged on by Fafnir. And as a 1 for none, but I believe the Pyro did go the way of the Otters.
It did, in fact.
Bolena looking for the smoke here. Gonna be able to retreat off as now in the carry lane here. We're gonna see Don Zaburo still getting all this pressure over the Chernobog. Chernobog wave clear down, just eating free poke. Needs to be careful. Don Zaburo is one of the best hunters in the game at killing you from half health. So if Frosty Kills can hit these autos, Chernobog just eating free poke after free poke. Medusa going to be spotted out on top of this ward, so Donzaburg going to get rotated out here.
I'm just still looking at. Oh, there was another jump, 2 levels down.
It's level 14 now, though. He adorable.
He's
Double
Yep.
As we see a fight break out, Medusa getting caught on her side of the map. Erlong Shen just shredding this Medusa. Gonna get the dash off. Moment has made the rotation. Medusa is good. The slow is good. Eset misses the Spirit Ball as Moment goes up to Erlong, and it looks like a disengage from both teams. Chernobog was expended to maybe scare off this Cyberpunk Otters team, however.
Yeah, Gilgamesh is definitely able to handle his own with his Bologna now. I think this is the point where we're going to start seeing a swing.
He can fight. Ganesha getting caught, missed the dash. Dharmic Pillars were expended, not really getting too much value. But it looks like Pillar is going to go the way of the Otters, but the fight's still going on. Mama Brigitte getting caught by the dash, going to get shredded by his Erlong. Brigitte goes inside of the Erlong, dashes out. Esettle going to be expended to peel/do damage here for the Erlong. And Pillar goes the way of the Cyberpunk Otters, and very importantly, does not kill the left tower, so the gold on the map still there for the Otters.
It looks like they're gonna opt to go straight for the Gold Fury here.
It's free.
Yeah, no, it doesn't even. Yeah, I was gonna say, it doesn't even look like Ice Age knows that they're doing this. So, just free, easy gold XP for them allows them to just go ahead and either finish another item, started item. It doesn't look like anybody's opting to do that at the moment, though. Just more farm, trying to get ahead, stay ahead. Looks like we do have about almost a 5,500 gold lead in the way of Cyberpunk Otters here.
T1 gonna get knocked down, so the Ice Age recovering some of that gold, but there's a T1 in left that's fairly frail. As we see Bologna gonna rotate in, not really much to do here.
Something I see here that not a lot of people, I'm sure people pay attention to it now, is with the change to the way stacking items work, we see a fourth item, Transcendence, on this Medusa. Gonna help out tremendously.
Donzaburg gonna get rotated on. Dharmic Pillar's off the mark. Donzaburg gonna easily get back to his tower, as Dharmic Pillar is gonna be used to peel out the Medusa. Medusa making this rotation, maybe just looking to push this tower down. Nothing really on this side of the map to gain, though, however.
So we see here the Bologna is already starting on her fifth item actually, if you take away the starter. Meanwhile, the Gilgamesh still hasn't even finished his third item.
Well, Pyromancer going to be pulled here, ballers. Medusa does see Eagles Rally going to be used. Medusa had the beads to walk out, and this Pyromancer still going to be pulled by this Cyberpunk Otters team, and it is confirmed. I'm actually very concerned about this Bologna build at the end of this game, Balrus. Just not enough damage in this build.
Not enough damage, and I don't know if she opted to just go to the death toll to begin with to try to sustain herself.
Chernobog's gonna be gone on here. Dawn's a rocket, gonna be good. Pocket rocket for the win as Jacob Frosty can. Saw this T-Pity again. T-Pity did have Aegis there, interesting enough. Did not opt to use it. Maybe thought he was dead anyways.
That he did start to use his ult, but just wasn't able to get up quick enough with the delay of actually going up in the sky. So he does get to hold on to that. But yeah, I do believe that's why he held on to the Aegis, because he was going to just try to ult out of that. But we see here, it looks like Cyberpunk Otters are starting to posture for this fire giant.
Yeah, they can definitely shred it with an Erlong, Eset, Ganesh Bologna comp can definitely shred this pretty fast. Looks like the Ice Age not really too privy of it, but will now be definitely privy of it as the Dwarf has made an appearance. Will be looking to get in here. Bologna sees the Medusa 1v1 trades going on. Bologna not necessarily winning just yet. Fire Giant has been dropped. The fight has broken out. Huge stun by the Ganesh on the Fafnir. Fafnir already half health, forced to leap away. Dharmic Pillars catching the Mom and Brigade using both relics will get picked off in mid. Meanwhile, Bologna still 1v9ing in the mid lane right now. Will still just look to lifesteal off of everyone. Gonna finally be taking some meaningful damage as Thorns from the Gilgamesh comes up, able to walk away. Gilgamesh solo chasing. Meanwhile, in the backline, though, Turnabout getting gone on by the Erlong Shed. Gilgamesh gets turned on by 4, and Erlong Shed finds another, as now it's still a 3 for none for the side of the Otters. Make it 4 for none as Fafnir gets found, and Medusa not far behind. Jacob Frosty Cones with the triple dipple. That 5 for none and a Fire Giant for the side of the Cyberpunk Otters.
I honestly don't know where it went wrong there. Like they had the whole, they were behind them on the Fire Giant. I know the Bologna kept the Medusa out of the entire fight, but there for a second, it looked like Ice Age was going to be able to clean up at least 2 or 3 of Cyberpunk Otters, and how quickly it just turns. You definitely seen a lot of peel for each other from Deacon and Jacob Frosty Cones there in the mid lane, and I think that alone was what was able to turn that into a deicide. Something that not a lot of the lower level Walker players are typically known for doing it is your backline actually peeling for each other. You normally see them split and run away from each other in team fights, so definitely looks like the coaching over there for the Otters is going well.
I actually think that that fight actually goes a lot worse because the on the side of the Ice Age is just one by one trickle in, and it's easy for people to self peel when it's only one guy. So you have 4 people hitting them. Um, not really very coordinated on the side of the Ice Age, but Fire Giant gonna be on the side of the Cyberpunk Otters, gonna look to take the beacon with the Bologna does TP in. If you are the Ice Age, where do you defend?
At this point, soft defend the T2s. If if you can't handle them in the T2s, just back off. Get farm where you can in the jungle before they pass through there, and try to defend these Phoenixes. Don't let them get a heavy push
Oh,
with this.
Fafnir gonna get caught out. Gonna have to use the ult to try to live. Needs to instantly jump out. Does get the ult off to get out. Now the Mom and Brigitte trying to solo dive the back. Gonna be able to maybe get out here. Gilgamesh Winds of Shamat have been popped. Berry Topics does find one, but T Pity does trade out Deacon. Don's Barrow left all by and lonesome in the back here. Gonna try to trade himself out, but we can't hit autos. Chernobog will finally be found by Berry Topics. Now Gilgamesh still looking for this Don's Barrow. Will be turned on, and that's a 3 for 1 so far. Medusa and Fafnir are still up to defend the tower, but not a lot that's going to do is Berry Topics going to blink and get the Medusa beads. Bologna looking to get some poke off. Fafnir going to jump out, and this T2 should go the way of the Cyberpunk Otters.
That was
Needs to be careful. Gonna get caught here. Gonna get slowed. Bomb gonna be dropped. Fafnir trying to peel this Medusa out. Medusa just gets caught up way too far. Gonna get picked on this left Phoenix. If they're not careful, that should actually just be game. 10 seconds on the Mom and Brigade respawn with just a Fafnir between them and victory. 4 of the Otters looking upstream for this Titan. Titan falling down like a seashell. Gonna go down by the seashore. Half health is a Titan, but Len Kanu has spawned in. Gonna be looking to get another kill. Will find Barry, but the Titan is not very frail. But Len Kanu still trying his best to save the game. Will not, as the Otters, little bit shaky at the end, but a very, in my opinion, dominant performance from this Otters team.
what did I say? 26 minutes. I said they tried to end it sub 25.
That means you were wrong.
I said I was close.
But no, yeah, no. What went right for that Cyberpunk Otters team?
They did exactly what we said they were going to do. They were going to get aggressive early, and as soon as they got the slightest lead, they never let up. They literally had full control of the whole game. They did what they wanted. They went where they wanted to, and they won. I think had that fight in mid lane before the fire giant went a little different, um, that might have been the pickup that the Ice Age team needed to swing it back, the momentum back to them. Um, but very big performance from Jacob Frosty Cones, 7-0 on that Donzaburo.
All right, with that though, we're gonna go ahead and throw it to a break. We'll be right back. Coming with game two, can the Otters continue their streak of domination over the Ice Age, be able to freeze them out and send them into hibernation? Some guy named Mike is live. Welcome back to Frank's Retirement Home. Walker Division, Ice Age, Cyberpunk 01. To my left, right, and above me, King Bars on the spectator is the salty guy. Forget the rest of his name. But King Ballers, what went right for the Otters in that game one?
Everything. They had full control over every objective, all the team fights. They just made sure that they came up with a game plan, they followed through, they executed, and got them the win.
And then Ice Age, what would you do? You think it was more of a team comp differential or an execution differential in the game
I
one?
think it was more of an execution, and then everyone trying to scurry and pick up all the pieces off the ground and put them back together, and it just didn't work. They just couldn't rebound from the early game, and it just allowed the Otters to dominate in quite a fashion.
Well, both teams clearly have gods they don't want to play against, as some of the same bands are going to be coming out here. Hachi Cuckoo going to eat a ban, and Thoth going to be also eating a ban. All three banned in game one. Different order though. That should give us a hint that certain gods may be let through. Baki Kujira are going to be banned on the side of the Otters. The same bans here for the Otters, and both
Yeah, but we
as
see
Bologna,
a Bologna. They clearly did not like that Bologna.
which means that the Athena will be let through, which was banned in game one, will be let through for the Ice Age if they want to have it.
I don't I haven't seen a lot of Athena's even when she is let through. I don't think she is quite one of the top supports right now. You just have with the way the meta is, they're like, yeah, you get a taunt, but if they have a Geb, it's pointless at that point.
Until you realize the Geb can't out-rotate in Athena. But Ganesha, going to be hovered here. Going to be first pick, so Ice Age clearly has to prioritize, which means the Otters, who may have banned the Athena game one, may look to go ahead and pick it here. But
May not,
yes,
yeah, may not be able to out rotate her with her ult, but there are teleports on both sides of the map now that allow you to rotate to the other lane.
up Athena going to be hovered here for the side of the Otters. Going to be locked in. Danzaburo also going to be picked, so Frosty Cones becoming a bit of a one-trick.
I mean, if they're going to allow it through, why not pick it up? I mean, he just dominated 7-0 and controlled that whole lane. I mean, there were a lot of trades back and forth, but at the end of the day, he's got the win under his belt. So
Interesting to see the Otters pick the Athena this early when the Ganesh comes through. Maybe afraid the Ice Age is going to pick. But that does leave up certain soul laners that are pretty good for the Ice Age. You have Osiris, if your soul laner could play it again. Odin's pretty good into both of these picks so far. You have other good soul laners, even that are less played, like Cthulhu Shock. So soul lane pool pretty well. Ice Age taking their time to pick here. A bunch of the hunters are still up. You have Ishtar, Chernobog, if you want to go back down that route. On her is still up. So a lot to pick here for the Ice Age.
I feel like a Rom wouldn't be too bad against this Danza. It's going to be quick, easy, clear, and allow you to not get poked out like you did with the Chernobog. That's going to really force you to be up relatively close to the opposing ADC.
Maman Brigitte.
On her.
And we see Mama going to be re-locked in here for the Ice Age, clearly valuing this pick and on her. Going to be locked in here, so maybe looking to 1v1 the Danzaburo for the rest of this game.
I mean, he is the 1v1 champ, so I'm kind of interested to see how this goes now.
CyberPunk Otters still need to pick every role but duo. Gotta be thinking here. They could always run back to Erlong Shen. Had quite a bit of success on Atlanta. Oh wait, that was Ice Age. My bad again. So Ice Age actually stealing the. No. It was Erlong. It was Erlong for the Otters. That's right.
Yep.
Could look to run this Erlong Shen again. Had quite a bit of success. You also have some good mid laners such as the Agni, Morgan Le Fay still up. So a bit to pick here. Osiris again, if anyone's comfortable playing that, still up. Maybe get this. Maybe get Captain Boat a little bit of a stronger pick here. So that did we swap the? I don't think we did.
No, the names are still on the
Okay,
side.
yep. So maybe get make sure Captain Boat doesn't get a strong pick, but Scylla got to be picked in here. Got banned away from Deacon last game. won't allow that to happen this game.
Oh, hey, look. I snapped my fingers and they changed.
So which of these top threes do you like?
Top threes, honestly, that's hard because you have. I would have to go with Ice Age, to be honest. They just have an overall better 3v3 if you're just going with those three.
I have to agree with you on that. Ice Age, the Ganesh on her, particularly very strong picks in the role. Momin pretty
Mhm.
solid. My biggest issue with the Otters comp is despite Jacob having a good game on it, Donsborough inherently is a snowball god. Get behind him at all. If he gets behind at all, he feels very awful. Might as well play a different hunter. And then Scylla just takes forever to get online and is one of the weaker mages right now. So could see that. But bands coming out: Achilles, Morgan Le Fay gonna get hit. Nike Osiris gonna get hit. As Surtur going to be locked in here for the side of Smallface. Another little bit of a lane bully for the Otters.
I am. I'm not surprised with this Surtur pick here. Um, After watching the way he went with the Bologna and even with the build, if he builds anywhere near the right way with this Surtur, I feel like he's going to dominate no matter what. And there's that Odin hover, just shut me up. I'm just going to sit here and be a good guy.
Odin going to be picked. You're going to lose a lot of pressure with the Surtur, but at the end of the game, and does just is very hard to kill. So solid pick here for the Ice Age. But I don't get it. Zeus
Ah,
going to be picked here for the side of the Ice Age with Dance as a follow up. So, Mr. Balrus, what do you feel about the Zeus pick?
I I hate Zeus, but I love Zeus at the same time. Um, Especially if I'm playing against him. But I feel like if he plays smart and he farms, this Zeus about mid game is just going to start deleting the Cyberpunk Otter team. Especially if you're mixing it in with the Odin cage and the Ganesh Dharmic pillars. It's just going to be instant delete from this Zeus, and I think what Cyberpunk Otters are going to have to do at this point, and we see here with Thana being locked in last, is try to keep this Zeus from being able to free cast, get all the TKOs or KOs that you can on this Zeus, and allow the rest of the team to on the Cyberpunk Otters team to, you know, poke out and farm the other Ice Age members here.
Not to mention the fact, though, this Zeus is gonna have a rough time with only having one set of beats. Will be able to just eat a taunt crush throughout the entire game. Gonna be a little bit rough early for the Zeus, but if you can survive that long, could do some good work in the end of this game. Now, looking at these top fives, though, I guess team comps. Which team comp do you like and why, Mr. Ballers?
I'm going to stay with the Ice Age. I just like the way the Ganesh on her duo lane was top picked. They're like, hey, this is going to be the lane that we're going to play through the most. We know our solo lane can handle their own. We're going to try to get this on because if the second on her gets a lead, it's almost impossible to come back against. So I see Ice Age going to be playing through this on her Ganesh, and they're just going to carry this. They're going to throw them in their backpack and say, "Let's go. Let's tie this up and force a game 3."
Not to mention the fact for this Odin pick, only one god can get out of the Odin walls because I believe they changed Dawn's Abode to where you can't 3-3 player made walls anymore. But getting in the game here, we're gonna see some builds come out. Boris, do you notice anything a bit different about these builds again?
Um, Looking at the Ice Age side, looks pretty standard to me. Looking at over at the Cyberpunk Otters, Surtur going Bluestone. Questioning that. Um, Titus doing the infamous item before starter. chose benevolence again. So clearly, feeling that benevolence is the way to go right now, opposed to the war flag. So we'll see how it goes.
Also, Thanatos going to opt for this Golden Blade start, so looking to farm up a bit early. It's very telling on how he's going to look to play this game. But I do have to say, this war from a lot players better than me right now are saying this warrior axe is just busted. You should always go it basically on any god. So seeing Smallface opting to not go it, he's just saying I'm better than this other guy. So last game he proved it. Let's see if it goes that way again. Now going into this dual lane though, we're going back to mid as we see a little bit of a dance party going on there. Can't really fight each other just yet. Zeus gonna look to get a lot of damage off on this wave. Will successfully probably out clear the Scylla, as Scylla not known for her clear just yet. Odin, however, already half health, a quarter health even, as Surtur just gonna bully him out of lane for now.
I'm hoping that they spoke to Captain Boat like, hey, if he's got a lot of pressure on you, let's try to just play a little bit smarter, not allow all the poke and all the damage to happen. We need you in the mid game here. We don't need you behind and focusing on farm.
As should buy the taunt going to be off the mark for the Dons of Bro. Athena did not get her taunt back up. But I actually think this god is perfect for Captain Boat. If you're going to jump in on any god, it might as well be Odin. But we see Thanatos getting hard poked. You're going to eat a bunch of dots, barely able to escape. But his teammate may not be so lucky. Deacon has to use his dash to get out. As we see his Mom and Zeus damage. Just too much for the CyberPunk to handle as the dual lane fights over this shield buff. I believe the Ganesh got it, but will be eating a lot of poke for his trouble. And now the Otters clearly going to be the aggressors here in duo.
And that's exactly what we were looking for. The Ganesh on her combo. You see the Ohm coming out, try to prevent the taunt from the Athena.
As we see, though, not really much of a difference. Odin has to jump out again. Does not get hit by the enhanced auto, but this Odin very struggling in this early game too. This Surtur. In fact, even gonna be looking for an ult in here maybe. This is a little bit risky if you're Smallface. Gonna eat a tower shot for his trouble. Odin does just have shield. Smallface is troll-faced right now as he dies to the Order Tower.
And that just gives Odin the chance now to clear this wave, even though it's under tower, get a little bit more farm, try to hit 5, back, heal, and get back into the fight.
Invade successful by the Otters, so maybe Trollface losing in solo isn't a big a deal when you do get the invade in purple. As Trollface comes back and just kills the jungler somehow. What happened there, Mom?
And Captain Boat still hasn't even backed, and he's almost gray screened as well.
Yeah, so Smallface, despite dying to tower, a level up on the Odin, but Athena could be in trouble here. Does get stunned, does not have dash just yet. Impel off the mark. Taunt gonna be used on her leaps. Does get the dash of Thanatos. Stuns one, gets the kill. T-Pity falls. 1 health is this Athena, but it looks like able to get out. Zeus makes a huge rotation, however, curating 1, but it may cost the Zeus his life. Actually, he's just going to trade 2. Here comes a 3rd as Zeus is doing a shit ton of damage as Jolt with a triple on the rotation. Where's the spam ping on Deacon right now?
That was a massive rotation from that Zeus. Come over, you lose both your duo lane, and you just clean up and get a 3-0, and has now taken a level lead, has gold lead on the Scylla, and I told you if he can withstand this early game, which he clearly has the ability to do off that play, he's going to cause a lot of damage and mayhem here within the next 5 to 6 minutes.
3-3 is the score, but Zeus, all three on his team, gonna look to get some more farm out of it. Despite the Zeus being 3 out, Otters still with a very, very slight 400 gold lead. Despite all this, and again, it's mostly in the solo lane. Smallface having this early lead again, despite dying.
I feel like this Odin.
Well, Zeus
Hit
getting
him.
caught out here. Gonna have to use ult to peel himself out. Athena taunt not good enough, but this is what I meant at the beginning of the game. Athena taunt is just so dangerous to Zeus's health. Thanatos looking for the kill, does get the stun. Barry Toppings with a shutdown on top of Zeus. Thanatos though gonna get caught by the moment, gonna take a bunch of tick as Athena gonna look to peel him out. Will successfully do so, however, but Thanatos comes back in looking for the 1v1, misses the sight, and that's the end of Thanatos. You can't do that, Barry. As the two does find, and now the Athena does confirm the red buff for her team and will get out successfully unless she wants to go back in. Silva doesn't have any kill, as that now a one for none turns into a 1-for-1 for both teams.
Definitely looks like Captain Boat is definitely more comfortable on this Odin. Being able to hold his own. He may be down to the Surtur by 1 kill, but is relatively close in level.
What's not close to his level is this Donson Burrow absolutely demolishing this on her rocket. Pocket rocket good enough to find T-Pity. Can't dodge the homing missile. Good kill from the Donza Burrow here as Zeus maybe look for a rotation, but it will be all for none here.
I have seen more rotations out of Walker mids this season
Barry Toppings finds the Odin on the other side of the map.
than the Canes.
Gonna be quite an unfortunate matchup for the Odin. One of the few gods that can kill the Odin. Thanatos executes you through the shield. As now 4-6 is our scoreline, Walrus. Early lead going to the Otters.
I'm actually concerned because if this Thana keeps steamrolling like this, things are gonna get out of hand. But he can't be missing sights like that.
Well, Zeus ult was expended, so a nice trade for the CyberPunk Otters.
So was the Athena ult as well.
I'd rather get the Zeus ult out. That's his main tool of survivability. As now we seed here 4-6, 2400. Athena taunt in. Taunt is good. Scylla not having any abilities does get the beat out of the Zeus, however. Ganesh dashes in just to try to get anything. Zeus beats are down, so this should be prime real estate for this Otters team.
I hope they called it out. As a support or a mid laner myself, and I see something like that, I'm calling it out, and I'm calling out the timer, especially if I'm paying attention to what level the beads are. So
getting caught here takes a lot of poke. Could be in trouble if the fight were to break out, but meanwhile, Odin gonna get followed. Should have leap up here in a second. Cage is good, and now we maybe see the issue. He's hitting both walls on accident. Doesn't know how Odin wall works. Gonna take a lot of damage. Mom and Brigade gonna be coming in. Oh, is good. One's taking him down as Mom and Brigade finds Smallface, and Smallface getting a little bit too big for his britches here. But Gold Fury gonna be pulled in return.
That was a 200 IQ play by Odin there.
I'll be honest, that's a 0 IQ play by the small face guy. He decided to hit both the walls and had to wait the entirety of the Odin ult to run out to get out.
And
a little bit of a misplay.
Yeah, took quite a few tower shots there.
But did force rotation. They did get gold, so one could consider maybe an overall win for the Otters in that trade.
Yeah, they are 2,000 gold lead now at 9 minutes. So again, focusing objectives. Obviously the call. Hey, we got 2 over here. They probably had vision in the mid lane, seen some back or anything. So the call was, "Hey, let's get this Gold Fury," and they cleaned it up pretty quickly.
Yep, as we see now, the fight, just little skirmishes on this map. But interesting enough, Thanatos opting for the second item, Rage. How do you feel?
I feel that somebody's been watching too many of the pros play, and trying to mimic what they do. Of course, everyone tries to mimic what they do, but you need to. If you don't do that often and you haven't gotten really good at that build and playing
Well, a
with that
bunch of
build,
ults being used here. Scylla has to get eaten here. Gonna have to dash out, but Thanatos using the ult to retreat. So about 3 ults popped there for the side of the Otters just to live.
yeah, I followed up with the Zeus and
Oh,
Ganesh ults as
Athena getting
well.
caught out here. Gonna take a lot of damage. Mom and dash is good for this Athena, but this is severe poke, but there's no object on the map to capitalize on.
I just think it's a lot of, hey, I'm gonna fight you and may the best man win.
Well, speaking of, Odin gonna leap on top. Gonna use Cage Surtur using ult to get out. Odin, 1 health. Gonna use the shield to try to live just as long. Mammon has made the rotation. This should even up the fight. Surtur looking just to get the damage off, but will not live. Oh, Captain Boat deciding that a 1-for-1 wasn't good enough. Walks back in and instantly dies. As Surtur now gonna be able to retreat. Needs to be careful. Mammon Brigade gets the 2 off the mark. Stun comes out as Lenkon, who does find the kill, but the tick damage is enough and kills all over them right now as Genkin duo finds one and the Zeus gets claimed it or gets a 1 in the middle. It's just an arena game breaking out in our conquest game here.
And we have Beacon about to spawn here in a couple seconds, and it looks like Ganesh and Zeus might be able to just go ahead and step up there with no contest.
No contest. As now the beacon is going to just go the way of the Ice Age unless Scylla can, break the game and do 5 million damage. But it will not be, but we see Danzabero able to get all this solo farm and left with the On Her Dead. It's going to be 2 levels up. That could be quite concerning. Both side lanes for this Ice Age team down 2 levels. In some cases, 3 levels. It's
There's just so much fighting going on in this game. There's so much fighting at the 12-minute mark than there was last game.
Danzabero going to be looked at here. Ganesh silence is good, but Danzabero holding the relics, making sure that he doesn't have to use them unnecessarily. Interesting enough, though, Deacon dies in mid to the mom, and Athena looking for a taunt in, does get it off, has to beat Scythe, misses off the mark here. As I just was going to point out, Danzabero still having the golden shard despite being level 12 about a minute or 2 ago. But
It's
now,
such a viable relic. It's basically a free item. So I've seen a holding on to it as long to maximize clear.
Pyromancer looked to get pulled there, but not pulled all the way. As we see, it just got dropped, so a lot of poke onto the Otters. I do want to point out a factor of this build. Surtur with all the attack speed in the world right now. If you just look at his attack speed, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So it'd be quite interesting to see how this build scales for this Surtur team. But meanwhile, in left lane, Danzabero looking for the ones. Thanatos is going to also be looked to get caught out here. Scythe off the mark again. Mom and Brigade looking to get poke off. Thanatos uses ult to get out. Danzabero going to use the back here. Athena ult was used onto the Thanatos. Now Athena going to be left by her lonesome, but able just to walk out. Is not going to be collapsed on just yet by the Ice Sage. Just a huge grouping left, all for naught, but Smallface kills Captain Boat by himself at the end of this game. Has the ult out, mass TP from the Ice Age looking for him, but will not find Smallface. As Gold Fury should actually be the call here for the Otters.
I think they seen that the Ganesh and Mammon rotated. They said this is just a free Primal Fury.
Yeah, that's the one thing about that TP is that Scylla gonna use the ult to confirm Zeus ult off the mark, not getting a whole lot of damage. Scylla just being able to walk out. Otters gets
Oh my.
bursted down. Huge Zeus damage, but not quite enough as Gold Fury falls the way to the Otters. Alright, Ballers. It's still only a 2K gold lead despite all this stuff happening on the map. Do you think which team do you think scales a bit better than the other one going into this late game?
Honestly, I feel like with Barry missing all the sites that he is, you needed Thana to be pushing a lot harder than he has been, and because Thana falls off late game. I see on her finishing what looks like will be dominance and getting ready to turn this game around.
Gorn's blocked by the Odin. Despite being half health, Surtur not really scared. He is 3 levels up, but he is losing health at a quite alarming rate if you are him. Multiple rotations going to be coming out here. Ganesh has made an appearance. Thanatos not able. Dharmic Pillars going to shred this Surtur. Surtur needs to be careful. Going to get a lot of damage off Athena rotation. Going to be making sure the Surtur gets out. And a lot of fighting over nothing in this right lane.
Couple ults wasted.
8-10 is the score right now, but we see the Pyromancer going to be pulled by the Otters. Does not look to get a lot of contention. A lot of ult used on the right side of the map, and will be confirmed by the Otters. Another bomb in their pocket. I guess it's the first bomb, but you get the drift.
Yep. We did see, though, that the CyberPunk Otters mid tower T1 did go down.
Mama needs to be careful. Going to be Thanatos ulted for a short. Small Face making a huge rotation, finding Lin Qiyu in the jungle. Now, looks maybe their next objective here is going to be this mid tower. Is now Honor getting caught on his own support camp. Surrender vote started. T-Pity is not happy.
No. I don't even think it was called out, but I think he blinked right at the moment before he hit that ward that's right below the Gold Fury, so T-Pity just had no shot at trying to survive that.
Smallface gonna try to 1v2 here, gonna get some huge damage off, gonna use the ult to try to chase here, but actually uses it to retreat. Interesting use of the ult, not really in too much danger, but gonna have to be used. Donzaburo has made a rotation on the right side of the map, maybe looking for this Odin. Odin none the wiser. Look out, he's got his AirPods in as 3 of the Otters come in here. Odin's gonna have to do a lot to survive, gonna jump. He's taunted in. Thanatos gonna silence. Cage is out. Odin, you're running the wrong way if you want to live here, as now Odin gonna be caught. Uses the shield to try to live. Silence taunt is good as Captain Boat has been found, and that should spell the Fire Giant for this Otters team.
Now, the second I said that this Thana's going to fall off, he just went on a 3-0 run.
Fire Giant gonna be leeched here, already half health. I don't believe the Ice Age, they either don't know or they're not looking to contest. Mammon does spot it out here, is by herself. May look, someone just won 10,000 gems, by the way, but now needs to be careful, gets absolutely obliterated off the map by Barry Toppings and the Surtur as Fire Giants go to the Otters, and things go from bad to worse for this Ice Age team.
So the Thana just went on a 4-0 run when I said that he needed to be more active early, and has now taken a hold of this game. Has stacked that rage, so his crit level is massive now. With that golden blade, so he's just going to be swinging and critting and deleting. He's not even going to need to use his execute for secure at this point.
Bead's going to be used by the Honor to get out here. Purple buff going to be successfully confirmed. Athena ult going to be used. Dharmic Pillars going to be looked. This is a good fight for the Ice Age. Looking for a pick. Both relics expended on the Don's Burrow. Going to get absolutely melted by the Zeus ult. Athena also going to walk through the Zeus ult. Zeus getting the freest damage of his life. Double kill from this Jolt. And Ice Age has one glimmer of hope all game, and it's this Zeus pick.
And CyberPunk Otters have Fire Giant, and they just did that. So I think right now, I mean, we got a 6-1 Zeus who's on another 3-0 run. That is literally just going to start deleting.
Thanatos has to ult to survive. Meanwhile, Smallface rotates in. Thanatos I guess executes the gold theory to confirm it. Not actually how that works with the damage good enough, but now the fight continues though. Needs to be careful as this Surtur. He may be a big boy, but not that big, but not as big as Dickon. It's crushed with berry topping following up, and now Odin comes in a wee bit later as now he gets caught by the crush, and Thanatos Scythe gets the kill. A huge play for this Otters team, despite losing 2 before the fight even started.
I'm at a loss for words. I don't know. It's like Barry flipped a switch and doesn't miss now.
You don't miss.
And
Now, 18 to 10, 5k gold up. Fire Giant still on. Looks like Pyromancer is going to be pulled here. If you're the Ice Age, what do you do?
you need to talk about what's going on, fix what you're doing wrong. The Cyberpunk Otters are grouping up. Their dive is out diving the Ice Age, so we need to fight
Well-
from back here.
All right, this has happened too many times. Stop diving this Zeus by yourself. He just melts everyone on the map. Then looking to retreat. Small Face, despite being probably the biggest person on the map, not named Zeus, instantly dies to the Zeus.
He just got deleted.
Zeus quite humongous right now. Gonna be looking to try to carry his Ice Age brethren through this game.
Yeah, and it looks like Zeus and Surtur are literally fighting to see who can do more damage at this point.
Gonzabero is gonna split push down the mid tower right now. Zeus TP'd over, gonna split push. A bunch of split pushing coming out.
He
Here,
says, "I don't care about this tower. I'm taking it."
7k gold lead for the Otters. If Zeus now has the alternate timeline, both relics, very hard to kill this Zeus, Balrus. How would you go about doing it?
I mean, they've been doing fairly well with this dive from the Cyberpunk Otters. I think they just need to coordinate the dive with the Thana and Surtur to completely erase him before he can pop his ult off. And I just know it as 3. I can't remember the name of the explosion.
We're going to see the Odin get rotated on. Ganesh is going to be standing behind. We'll get Dharma Pillars are going to be expended. Thanatos is already half health. Both tanks getting gone on by the Otters. Thorns popped. Ganesh able to dash out. Odin needs to walk away here. Bit of a split target here for both teams. Thanatos looking to ult one of these. Gets the Ganesh. Odin jumps over the wall. Zeus ult though. Gonna do humongous damage. Needs to be careful. Thanatos gonna be 1 health going in. And now Zeus just looking for another one. 1 health is this Scylla. Mammon gets stunned. Will not survive very long. However, this Scylla does. And now back is the damage of the Zeus. Zeus kit still going up. But Mammon free casting. Gets a shutdown on the berry toppings. And Raid Boss is still up. Zeus is just free casting in the middle of this fight. Looking to kill the Surtur. Mammon has come back to stun the Surtur. And Lane caught it with a triple dimple right now as Dodge and Burrow looking to sell the Otter. Otter gonna be expended. Rocket finds the Otter as 1 health, and Jacob Frosty counts finds T Pity. A bunch of fighting here. King Ballers.
So when I say something, it goes the complete opposite way. So don't listen to me. I said Thana's gonna fall off. No, he went on a run. I said the Zeus needs to survive. I guess that's the only thing that actually has been correct that I've said, is if the Zeus can survive, he's just going to start deleting people.
Meanwhile, Fire Giant gonna be used. Zeus ult gonna be used to burn this objective. Athena, the only person in the room who can even think about contesting, will think about it. Places the bomb a little bit too late. Bomb expended for the side of the Otters, and now Ice Age, for the first time, I would say all set have an advantage.
I would like to see the gold swing from that fight till, yeah, that's what I thought. They've basically cut the gold lead in half with that basic team wipe and then the Fire Giant. What Ice Age needs to do now is they need to get the last couple players as close to 20, if not at 20, get their starter items rolling, and stay grouped up. If they continue to fight grouped up like this, I could see this swinging right back into the Ice Age's hands and ending by 30 minutes.
Well, 1v1 in the right lane. Maybe not who you thought it was going to be. The Donzenborough Odin looking to fight each other. Surtur going to be here. Athena all going to be used. Maybe he looks to go on this Odin by himself, but not going to look to go on. Maybe don't have vision on the left side of the map here. As Gold Fury going to be burned by this Zeus. And Ice Age getting another objective into their back pocket.
Yep. And just like that, another chunk of gold in their pocket. They seen the Athena ult had been called out. The Odin said he's seen 3, and that the call was for Gold Fury. So it looks like they might even posture for a Pyro here.
Yeah, they do have Fire Giants, so they should just get whatever objective they want for free. Athena going to taunt the Odin, and Zeus damage is going to come out. Crush is good, but tickles this Odin just a little bit. Zeus ult has been expended, however, as Jacob Frostycode's getting caught by this Ice Age team. And now Ice Age maybe looking to push their objective lead even further, going for the Pyromancer before they push these towers down.
Yep, just looking for that bomb a little bit more safe, secure, just to make sure you get it. That way, you guys don't take too much poke, especially if they save it for the Phoenix. Secure the Phoenix, and just at this point, what Ice Age needs to do is just tower sweep. Get the towers down, get, your last couple items. We can see here, everyone is almost, if you look at the Ice Age, they're all pretty behind on item builds.
They do have a bunch of gold because they haven't backed just
Yeah.
yet, so I will give them some credit here.
But Ice Age did beat everybody 220. So
yeah, Ice Age, you only hit 20 once though, so everyone in this game hitting 20 but the Athena, not really that important. But I would have to point out this Athena, an issue with this build. He's gone prophetic, and he only has 21 stacks in 27 minutes, and then he goes Eldritch Dagger. Not a lot of prots on this Athena.
no, not a lot of prots, and the fact that you went prophetic, that you need to be able to, if you're going to build prophetic on Athena, you need to know that you can for sure get your stacks by 20 minutes, 22 minutes. As a support player, if I'm building prophetic, I'm making sure that I will have at latest 25 minutes full 30 stacks on my prophetic. If I know I'm not going to be able to do it, I'm not even going to waste the gold or time trying to do it.
And not to mention the fact that she also went benevolent, so she has even less prots. And it's also level 17 without her starter, so a little bit of a rough game for this Athena so far. Odin gonna jump in here, just take his health bar, just for thinking about leaping in. May want to reconsider that next time.
I'm not sure what really goes through some supports' minds when they know that they can level their or upgrade their starter item at 15. I wouldn't have upgraded the Eldritch Dagger at this as early as that she did. I would have saved the gold for my compassion or my heroism, whichever route she was wanting to go.
Gonna be expended on this beacon, a rare beacon fight at this 29-minute mark. Man, so many low health bars on these Otters. Surtur's gonna go in. Surtur's just gonna get turned on and blown up, in my opinion. But I could just be a humble announcer. Zeus actually gonna get deleted.
Nope.
Alternate timeline has to be procced. But that's the good thing. Jacob Frostycodes and Zeus finally falls, but the rest of the team not so lucky, as it's a 4-for-1 right now. And Mom and Brigitte goes absolutely ballistic in this back line. Gotta look for another pick. And if this is a kill, this is game 2, and we're going to game 3 here, Balrus.
One fight. That's all it took. One fight, and that's all it takes at this point. And where the way Smite is in the meta. And I told you, they held on. They were starting to get run down just like game 1, but I don't know what comms were made, but they turned it around. They kept their head this game, and they're
Oh,
gonna force a
Chaos
game
Titan
3.
claims to. As the game ends, Ice Age put the Otters down for the count, and now tie the set 1-1. Walrus going to the decisive game 3. What went right there for the Ice Age?
They kept their head on their shoulders. They didn't fall apart. Oh, we're down 0-1. Oh, they're starting to run away with this game 2. What are we going to do? No, Zeus literally said, "Get in my backpack." Mammon said, "I'm going to give you the assist." And key ultimates from that Ganesh and a lot of those team fights is what turned the game around for Ice Age.
I have to agree with that. And with that, though, we're going to have to go ahead and throw to a break. Ice Age tying the series up. Will they be able to maybe, freeze this one out? Another Ice Age put on that. Or will the Otters melt their icy hearts with their cybernetic fur? Come right back here for the decisive game 3. Frank's retirement home, Walker Division, Rootin' Tootin' Rodents versus the Ice Age. And to my left, right, and above me, King Balrus, and on the camera will be the salty guy. And I have a prediction, Balrus. Every team that's gotten first pick so far has won. So, congratulations, Rodents. You have won the set. I'm joking. But what we talked about what went right for that Ice Age team. Let's talk about what went wrong with that Otters team. Very commanding lead early, just not able to kill the Zeus.
The Zeus was just able to obliterate them. He does so much damage once he's online, and if you're not getting in there and forcing beads, Aegis, and him turning and running, and he can just free cast, it's game over.
Well, Otters clearly disagree what went wrong with that game. Momon did have a good at the end of the game, so banning it. Also, the only god I believe that this player has played so far. So looking to ban it out, maybe. Cuckoo again gonna get banned here. Has not been allowed to be played in this set.
And there, honestly, the Cuckoo is going to be probably the number one ban across the entire league, across all leagues, just because
Nah.
he's just so his secure with his alt, the tick damage from his whirlwind. It's just so overpowering, even in the early stages of the game.
I'd like to counter you with one Hachi Man ban, please. Another one of this big bans, and should actually never get out because he's just OP. Trust me. Don't let Hachi Man through in your games, please. As Athena will get banned, so Otter's gonna let this Zeus rock if they want it, but Ganesh for the first time all set gonna be banned. So that leaves up stuff like Vaughn, who's not been
Yep.
allowed to play. Thoth, also a notable pick that has been banned all set. Lona got banned last game. So a bunch of picks that we weren't just able to have the opportunity to see last game may be available here.
I'm not surprised with the Vomit pick and they were quick on it. Clearly, based on the builds and the playstyle of the first two games, he is an auto attack solo laner player. So to allow the Vomit through, they're gonna have a rough time with him alone. But we do see the Bologna Thoth pick up, so I'm curious to see here what the Cyberpunk Otters are going to.
Maybe a little bit of a draft mistake. Maybe they do value that Vomit so much, but you could have theoretically picked the Thoth and then got one of the other two. But some people really do value that Vomit that much, so it is a little bit good. But also, baiting Ice Age should not pick the Zeus. Ingenious play here by the Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think you cut out. I didn't hear. Yeah.
All right, so I will just repeat myself then. Otters, or I mean the rodents, baiting the Ice Age should not pick the Zeus as Donza Burr. Jacob Frosty Codes needs to get a life. I'm joking. I'm pretty sure Donza Burr, clearly a man of culture, loves this pick as Kepri gonna also be picked. One of the Vomit's biggest counters is gonna be taken away from this Ice Age if they wanted to go that route.
Yes, and I'm actually curious to see what they do in the jungle now with this Kefri pick. I'm going to be. I see a lot of dives coming out of the jungle now, even under tower. Uh, as long as that Kefri's nearby and has that ult, they're going to try to utilize the W key mechanic with a Kefri ult.
This Ice Age top three is kind of bonkers from like a comp perspective. Some people would argue that they have a top three god in each role on their top three. A lot of people love Thoth and Thor right now. Gonna ban Sasano out, but it does mean, however, that they did not get one of these priority ADCs and they have a chance to get banned out. But the rodents looking to ban out this Ares, very scared of this Ares pick.
I don't know. I mean, I know as a support player, Ares can be very dominating and can help with the flow of the game, but I'm not sure if it might even be a stop you one trick type of god as well, because it's been banned out every game.
I have to agree with you. Has been banned out quite a bit. Um, but Susano Daji ban also going to be taking out a god that hasn't been picked or banned this entire set. What do you think brought on upon this Daji ban this late in the set?
I honestly, I'm not sure what the Dodge. I can't see where they're trying to go with the Dodge ban with their last two picks. Um, I don't. Again, some of these bans I'm thinking just might be target bans,
Ishtar.
especially. I mean, I don't know. They got me confused over here.
Ishtar going to be hit here. One of the best ADCs in the game right now. But it is very good. We've seen this Ice Age ADC T-Pity struggle a little bit against this Don Zebra. Maybe third time's the char with a third different hunter. Very, very safe, very good at fighting hunter, but Jacob Frosty just looked really solid in this Don Zebra.
I honestly think he's going to show his best game this game with this Donza. I don't like the Ishtar pick into the Donza. You force her dash, and Donza can literally burst her down with ease.
Agni.
I tell you what I don't like into a Fenrir if this or into an Ishtar. A Fenrir pick gonna be gonna be picked here. Little bit of a struggle bus matchup for this Fenrir into the Ishtar.
Agreed. Her CC, uh, her two, the where you can set it forwards and backwards. Again, I'm horrible with uh, attack names.
Three different ways to interrupt the Fenrir brutalize.
Yeah, you get the Geb knock up, you got the Ishtar, you get the Thor wall.
Geb knockup does not interrupt brutalize. I was just talking about the Ishtar in general has three ways to interrupt the brutalize. But yeah, Geb also pretty good pick defender. You just shield whoever he puts in his mouth. Agni though, one of those infamous low rank killers. Very hard to dive and has that huge stun and huge long range damage. So both teams opting for this artillery mage type of playstyle.
I uh, look at the comp of the Cyberpunk Otters here. When I seen the Kefri pick, I knew exactly what they were going to do. They're going to W key. They're going to dive. They're going to utilize the Kefri ult for these dives. They're going to try to shut down this Thoth, keep him down. Especially because the last game, Jolt with that Zeus, he really helped set the tone to bring the Ice Age back from behind and help secure the win. So I foresee them trying to focus him down with the Cyberpunk Otters pick. I'm leaning towards the Otters here with this game.
I would have to agree. I think this Otters comp is really good. Fenrir and particularly good in the Thoth. But they also got Vaughn, Capri, and Agni's really hard to dive. They do have, however, I like the Otters comp, but I will say his Ice Age comp is also really good. Team fight is nuts. A Thor dunk into a Thoughtful will just end any team fight instantly. Ishtar has amazing team fight. Geb kind of can shut down the Fenrir by himself, and Eagles Rally is just a free CC with extra damage on top of somebody. So I'm actually going to say I do like this Ice Age comp a bit better, but at the end of the day, it's all about execution. And despite Ice Age winning game two, Cyberpunk Otters were winning that game for the first 20 or so minutes. So I have to give my favorite to Otters from what I've just seen from this set. But if I had to go pure comp wise, I'd have to go with Ice Age.
And we are right into game three. And as we can see, that Kefri opting for benevolence, third game in a row that he's gone benevolence for the starter. Meanwhile, we see the Geb opting for the war flag.
I'm actually more concerned with the Capri actually going prophetic again. Was not able to stack it on Athena, who has a very easy time to stack it. Capri can, has an all right poke with it, but just not as easy as Athena and can't play as aggressive as Athena. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Titus stacks this prophetic. Maybe he goes out of his way to stack it like purposely this time, but it's gonna be quite interesting to see how squishy this Khepri is for most of this early game.
And we see a standard start from both solo laners.
Up, acts of animosity. It only took playing Busted Vomit to finally go act, and we figured it out. But no, very good item. Vomit loves it. It's gonna be quite interesting to see how he plays this matchup. And I'm gonna actually talk to you a bit about this though. Who do you think the onus of this game is on to get active early? Is it on the Otters or the Ice Age?
It's on the Ice Age. They need to set the tone early this game. They can't play from behind all 3 games and hope to be able to come back like they did in game 2. You need to set a tone and try to initiate the fights, win the fights, get objectives. Don't try to play reactive the way they've been playing.
I have to agree with you on that front, but we're gonna see some early pokage coming out in this duo lane as it appears the Ishtar cleared just too well, but dash in by the Ishtar, gonna land back in the taunt, has no health, horrific, used by Titus the Reaper to try to get this Ishtar root, is good, pluck is good, this should be one dead Middle Eastern. Ishtar is not dead, however. How is Ishtar not dead?
The body blocks from the Geb, that was a true support play, body blocking, trying to CC, all well played by Titus there to keep the Ishtar alive. Or I'm sorry, stop you.
But like, one health gets plucked in, just, oh man, that's a rough,
The
rough
minions,
cross there.
you had the body blocks from the Geb plus the minions that just weren't allowing the autos from the Danza to get through.
As we see, Fenrir kind of getting poked out in the mid lane quite a bit, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not exactly sure though, how this Fenrir is gonna start building. He did opt for the Bumbas. Do you think this Fenrir goes a full damage or tank build?
I think he's gonna go full damage.
Gonna try to one shot the Thoth later in this game. Fenrir or taking a bunch of damage early. Rare sight to see though. Small face, the same level as this as Captain Boat here.
Yeah,
Rare
2 minutes
sight to
and
see.
same level. I mean, it's amazing when you both are playing auto attack gods and build the same exact way. But we see there just that little exchange. The Vamana knows how to utilize.
Lock in by the Khepri. Gonna shred this Geb. Geb already quarter health. So this pressure, despite dropping the early kill, Otters clearly had the forefront in this duo lane.
I will agree with that, and they're actually going to be able to secure their own purple buff. I'm curious to see if they even try to rotate to steal the Ice Age purple buff like they did at the second one of the second game.
They can't really do that. They're gonna lose wave pressure here. They have to go catch their own wave.
Which looks like it's going to get under tower.
Yeah, not opting to go behind is gonna cost them some gold probably. As we see, just not for the first time, I believe there hasn't been multiple kills in the first 3 minutes of this set.
I mean, and maybe that's what the Ice Age needed to do instead of trying to get ahead early or take, early pressure, is force the Cyberpunk Otters just to slow down, not give them the early game, force them to really work for everything.
Very slow paced game. Meteor gonna go the way of the Otters most likely. Just a bunch of roots by this Khepri. Gonna be good. Geb just able to walk out, however. Both people are level 5, so not a lot of kill potential from either side. Ishtar gonna be low, but Thor gets caught in the mid lane by Agni stun, and Fenrir brutalized is gonna be enough to claim first blood for the side of the Icing. But meanwhile, Geb 1 health. Ishtar dashes in. No. T-Penny trying to peel out the Geb, gonna miss the dash and get killed by Jacob Frosty Cones. And again, this Donzenberg getting another lead in this lane.
I don't know what to say about this Danza. There's no way that Adanza is able to just dominate a lane 3 games in a row against 3 different ADCs.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think maybe he might be his sleep god that people don't fully take advantage of, and really is a strong ADC that no one wants to play or just chooses not to play.
Yeah, very good at trades. Has to snowball, however. So very interesting to see this Ice Age team just not putting any pressure on the Jacob Frosty Cans again. Just some solo lane training, but good news. Captain Boat has not died yet. This game is already gone the best it already has. Awesome.
And same level. We're at 5.5 minutes, so yeah, already a difference. We got a fight brewing over here in the duo lane.
Ishtar gonna get stunned. Shield buff does go the way of the Ice Age, so controlling that neutral farm is the Ice Age. 2-0 though for the Otters with a 2k goalie. Thor going to be looking to gank here, is very out of range. May need to get a little bit of an extension cord, but we'll look to maybe stun this. Vomit does get the double tap. Vomit, however, will go into Colossal Fury. Gonna stomp Thor. No hammer, very important. Just gonna get chased down by the Fenrir right now. Fenrir just gonna grab the Bologna, who does not have Eagles Rally anymore. Should have the dash if she needs to live, however. Brutalize gonna be good. Do a bunch of damage. A little bit of miscommunication by this Cyberpunk Otters is gonna cost Fenrir his life. Vomit probably not too far behind as Captain Bloat survives the trade there, but Vomit caught behind this tier 2. Have to wonder if anyone will come and try to kill him. Thoth on the way, found the Vomit. Vomit should have dashed any moment now. 1 off the mark. Thor looking to chase this Vomit down. Vomit cannot afford the lazy back. We'll lose quite a bit of farm here because it's walked by as Thothel just obliterates him in the back of the head, sniped down. Jolt picking up the free kill for his KDA slash line.
Look who has the first kill in a solo lane.
Fenrir.
Out of the solo laners, that's the first time in 3 games Captain Boat has the first kill.
The tower, the tower. Remember, he wasn't even the first one.
The tower killed him, but he did not.
Purple buff invade is successful by this Otters team, and again, Frosty can able to do whatever he wants on this side of the map. Meanwhile, though, Fender, trying to get the invade off, does not get the camp. Will get some support to get out here as Thor already half health if he wants to contest these neutrals. Hammer is going to be coming out. Does not have Hammer if a fight were to break out, but Federer not opting to go on top of Thor, especially with the Geb rotation. Going to come in, and neutrals go the way of the Cyberpunk Otters.
So I'm just going to say already, since Kepri has finished his prosthetic, he has already leveled it more this game than he did with Athena.
Donsaburo Pocket Rocket not going to be used to go in here, realizing that Ishtar has beads would be a little bit of a rough kill. Fenrir, though, will get spotted out. Wall off the mark. Fenrir could opt to go on top of Thor, will not, just look to maybe steal some farm, but there is no farm on this side of the map to take. Now, ball race, do we see it's 3-2 with a 3k goalie for this Otters. Up, I say that as Fenrir just jumps and grabs the bead of the Thoth. Very important beads grab, but Thorwall gonna be good. Fenrir gonna get caught, and Lin Kanu takes out Barry Toppings in the mid lane.
You were saying?
Do you want to point out a very interesting quirk of this Fenrir build? I did not expect him to go hybrid, but opting to go with the, I believe it's going to be a Shoguns or something first. Magic defense over physical defense. Do you agree with that?
I mean, there's a Thoth over there that's literally blowing people up already.
But
so
now,
I see it going either Shoguns or even the
Ishtar gonna dash in here, gets taunted. Already a quarter health. Donsbear up 2 levels. Again in this matchup, does not have access. Does have access to his ult if he were to go in here, but it looks like Both going to be content. Is Donzaburg going to claim these neutrals again? When do you think this Ice Age team tries to pay attention to this Donzaburg?
I don't think they're going to. They haven't really paid much attention to him the whole set.
Oh, she dashed in. Gonna get caught here. And T-Pity just getting soloed again. Needs some help from his team.
Just a little bit. They've let Jacob basically run that lane the entire set. But the few ganks that have occurred, he has survived. He was able to get out, as well as his team rotate and help him.
Every be rolling though. A little animation bug there, but Thoth already half health. Vomit gonna find this Thoth. Geb shield gonna be used to try to get this Thoth out. Does not have dash, but Vomit gets caught by the wall, and now Fenrir is here. Geb getting caught in a bad spot as Deacon does find the kill on the Geb. Vomit uses the Colossal Fury, does get out. Fenrir also using his ult to get out as Thor is still in the air. Lands, misses all, gets his hammer caught by Titus, but it may not be enough. Eagles Rally gonna come in to try to peel out, but Bologna using the Eagles Rally to get in, may get caught out. Thoth gonna dash in and try to save his teammate, but now Brutalized gonna be used to find Captain Boat in the back. Fenrir falls. Tier 2 tower shenanigans at 11 minutes in, and it's a 2-for-1 for the side of the Otters.
And if you paid attention there, that Kefri was trying to get to that Fenrir to give him that ult to get him out and save him.
The beacon gonna be up in a minute. Everyone on the map should be back up, but like I said, I don't care what happens on the other side of this map. This Donsberg is 3 levels up and it's about to kill Ishtar again. Like, you just can't let this happen.
They need to respond to Jacob immediately. They can't keep letting him just free roam and do what he wants over here.
Yeah, they do have a good comp to kill him too with the Thor and the Geb if they really wanted to go on him, but just kind of ignored him. But Gold Fury going to be looked at here by this CyberPunk Otters team. Thor already half health before this fight even starts. May spell a free Gold Fury as soon as Don Zabara gets here.
It looks like CyberPunk just pulled off it and chose to go the beacon here. Get some free damage on these towers.
Beacon going to be used. Now the bug, importantly, the bug is still in the game, so they actually lose the soloing gold and XP for that tower. As the bug, if you kill a tower with a beacon, you don't get the gold or XP right now.
Yeah, that's there. I was talking to a friend who knows a few high res people, and there's actually quite a few bugs that a lot of people don't really pay attention to or know about, and that being one of them. And they did say they were going to address it.
It's being fixed on Tuesday.
They were going to try to address it a lot sooner, but they decided just to let it go until this patch instead of doing a micro patch. Kind of like when the PlayStation players were having problems and ranked and were being put in the wrong games.
Well, left side of the map here. There's Vomit, interesting enough, still on this left side of the map, despite the Gold Fury being down. But a huge Thor in the middle lane, but Vomit going to be going on this Geb. Geb should just be able to roll out here and back to the mid lane here as we see a fight still going on. Kepri able to pluck one in. Gonna try to get out here. Thor just autoing down. Stop juking, just walk away. I love when I see that. So very two close fights. Don Zabura, meanwhile, freely shoves down the team.
Can we hover over Fenrir's magical item? Void Darmuru, a new item this season. Not a bad choice, honestly.
On Fenrir?
Yeah. Especially when your Agni's going to be around a wall, dropping bombs. That's because it reduces the magical protection. So if he's ulting somebody, grabs them and lets the Agni do his thing, I mean, that's just honestly, that's not a horrible item. It looks like he's definitely opting to go kind of tanky with this build here.
They're gonna opt for most likely either be a Phalanx or Berserker shields next, maybe even Void Shield. But Pyro, more importantly, going to be pulled here. Already half health Thoth. Going to try to steal it, but it's just going to help DPS Thoth off the mark. Not in time as Otters confirm the Pyro. As now a huge grouping needs to be careful. Is this Geb will be able to walk out. Thoth just throwing damage over walls. And Kepri Pluck just off the mark. Won't be able to punish just yet.
So it definitely looks like this Kefri pick is a little bit more of a comfort pick for Titus. I mean, again, he's already stacked his prosthetic faster this game than he did last game.
Thor coming inbound, takes one out. Gonna force the relics off the Don's Barrow. Thor himself, though, has the beats to get out, I believe. Pocket Rocket is good onto the Geb, but nothing else to come of it. But Bologna gonna be caught in the middle of him, and oh no, don't stop moving him. Your teammates can't hit him. We're in Walker's division. As Bologna gonna be able to walk out with a Geb shield, and the Thor mitigation barely gets out. Still looking to get gone on. Fenrir gets picked off by the tower, but Lon Kanu gets picked off by Deacon. Vaughn still stomping away. Finally gets out of the Colossal Fury as the poke is just good enough. Don's Burrow, though, on the side here, gonna get caught out by this Thoth and should eat lead for his troubles. Dash off the mark. Gonna get decloaked by the Scepter. Still on the Don's Burrow. Huge Thoth thought off the Ishtar combo. Gonna kill this Don's Burrow. Meanwhile, though, Vaughn just able to tank unstoppably right now, but a huge kill onto this Don's Burrow for the Thoth.
That was a massive combo and communication there by the Ice Age with the Ishtar ult followed up by the Thoth ult, knowing that the beads have been wasted on Jacob. Very, very key play there. That's just a speckle of what Ice Age is capable of doing. And both middle laners here are deathless. I hope I don't give any caster curses to anybody.
Well, not due to lack of trying. This Thoth just can sometimes aggressively dashes in, but it looks like the next fight's going to be on top of this beacon. Fenrir gets already stunned, but not a lot of damage coming there from the Thor, missing the hammer. But now Bologna has actually used Eagle's rally to get some poke off on the Kepri, but it doesn't look like he got much, any at all. As Beacon still being hotly contested, Bologna will be the first one here. Kepri, not a lot of damage coming off these CC abilities. But we see Fenrir leaping by himself, gonna dodge the Thor wall. Everyone's still full health, but Vaughn finally on the backline. Thoth has to use Aegis. Geb Shield gonna be enough to try to keep this Thoth up for not long, though, as Fenrir misses the jump, but will be good enough to kill this Thoth with the Don's Burrow. Pocket Rocket finds one in the back. Thor forced to run out, but Geb not so lucky as CyberPunk Otters finally find advantage in this fight. Speaking of the Bologna on the Agni in the back, about to get rotated on by a lot of members. Agni gonna use his stun a little bit late, but taunt by the Don's Burrow should be good enough. And Barry Toppings with a triple kill in this fight, and Fire Giant should not be too far behind.
CyberPunk Otters are just, they're at the point now in the game where they're in full control. They have the better positioning, the better patience for the team fights. They're not running in and forcing. They're just waiting for the right moments and communication amongst each other to engage as a full 5-man team there. That was a hell of a fight for the CyberPunk Otters there.
I have to agree with you there, but on the other hand, the 11-6, 7K gold lead Otters clearly in command. If you're the Ice Age, how do you have to play this now?
Get farm where you can. Be smart about where you're getting the farm. Aware where people are. At this point, if they knew they backed because they were already low, you all just came up, I would have went for one of the objectives. You got a Pyro and a Gold Fury. They were low health. You guys just spawned back up. Let's try to get an objective here, get some gold in our hands. Don't just do our normal farming and let them have complete, full control over everything.
That being said, the Otters do take the Primal Fury and look to shove left. Meanwhile, Ice Age
Yep.
do look to reclaim the Pyromancer, but Ishtar is going to get caught out here. Is not going to live much
Definitely.
longer.
Yeah.
Vaughn misses the knockup, but Ishtar just save your relics. T-Pity making a very not great mistake.
He should have backed instantly. The second that it said they took Gold Fury, he shouldn't have even tried to run back. He should have just backed. At that point, I think that was just a poor judgment. Like, I can make it, I'll be fine, and usually that's when you end up gray screened.
Only going to cost him a tower so far, so not the worst thing. It will be back up in 15 seconds if they do so to decide to go siege of Phoenix, so not losing too much off of it.
It looks like there's 2 void shields over there on the Cyberpunk Otters too.
Auras do not stack, but Otters looking to go for this tier 2 here. Bomb has been dropped, looking for this Thor. Thor needs to hammer out, does get the hammer out, but meanwhile, Vaughn just in the back, just chilling. Not really in any danger. As we see, Kepri going to get caught out here by multiple people. Kepri had to ult himself, will get the revive, but will be good enough actually so far. Just needs to walk away, may even bait a fight. Thor in the air, going to look to dunk onto the Kepri most likely, or the backline. Thor, misses. I actually hits the Donzabero in the back, or Thor in the back. Interesting target selection, but Thor does hammer out. Geb taking a lot of damage, but this Vomit full health. As we still speak, going to take out this Geb most likely. Geb going to have a hard time living. Meanwhile, Donzabero in the back going to be able to retreat. And what looked like maybe a pick for the side of the Ice Age turns into a pick for the side of the Root and Toot Rodents.
Yeah, the Otters are just in full control here. I think at this point their discussion is, hey, let's get a little bit extra farm here. Let's get another item. We've and get some wards. Let's set up for this next fire giant. Ours just fell off here in the next couple seconds, and next fire, push and end. At least that would be the conversation that you would have. I mean, almost a 10,000 gold lead.
Yeah, interesting. Ishtar only 17. The supports really don't have a lot of farm right now. Kepri, who's even on the winning team, only level 14. Geb, level 12, just got his second relic at 22 minutes. Not a feels great moment, but if we look, 3-level lead on most of these roles right now. Vomit up by 3, Fenrir up by 2, Thoth actually up by 3 for the other team. Agni needs to hit some camps.
Yeah, Agni's 3-0-3, and they've clearly have the gold lead, but isn't utilizing his farming. And I think that's what separates Jolt and Deacon is Jolt knows how to farm. We've seen it all 3 games. And I mean, even at this point now, he's at the where they're going to fight. He's not going to back down from a team fight, and Agni will, as we've seen right there.
We see grouping on this fire giant. Looks like the Otters are going to rip it first. Not grouped up is this Ice Age team, so it's going to be hard contested. Vomit going to be in the solo lane dealing with it. And it looks like the Ice Age is not even going to contest this fire giant if they even know what's going on. Sure, I mean, they do.
Cyberpunk's seen the Ishtar on the map in the duo lane, that was the go button there.
Otters claim the fire giant. Bologna may have to ult out here to live. Gonna get slowed by the Vomit. Just gonna get ripped. Eagles rally gonna be used to get herself out. As now the rodents may be looking to push down at Phoenix. Ishtar on oracles right now. Needs to be careful. Fenrir, if Fenrir spots her out, I was about to say Ishtar is just gonna be in trouble, but will dash away, is now safe. Pyramids are going to be ripped by the Otters. Going to be taken again. Otters have ballooned this lead up to 10K, 11K, huge XP difference. And
Yeah,
Ice
that
Age are just gonna have to turtle.
and sometimes that's what it takes. You turtle, you take what you get. You don't die. You hold off the team, and you
Thoth,
might.
Thoughtful off the mark, trying to steal a little bit of a risky play, maybe not even worth it for a Pyromancer. But no, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Otters now looking to shove down left.
Yep. And this is the lane you want to shove down, especially if you don't have any other phoenixes, because if you have to have someone defend for the Ice Age, that's going to open up if you need to go for another fire giant. It's just the furthest point away. Granted, the teleport system, but you still have to walk all the way down halfway lane to be able to use it. So, still very key point when it comes to objectives.
You see, Ice Age gonna be grouped up on this left Phoenix. A 5v5 is gonna break down. Notably, this is only a 25-minute fire giant, so sieging may not be the easiest for this Otters team just yet. Also, Ice Age have a good defense comp if the fight were to break out. So this is not doom and gloom for Ice Age just yet. Kepri gonna take some poke here. Wave gonna be walking up finally as they're gonna walk in with it most likely. Fenrir hanging in the jungle, just looking to maybe get a pick or engage as now finally the fight starts. Thorwall off the mark. Kepri gets knocked up. Agni bombs have been exploded. Pyro bombs dropped. Dan killed. Eagle rally on the back. Donzabero has to use his relics to try to live for now. Thor on the chase. Thor looking to find this Donzabero and smite him. Meanwhile, under the Phoenix, Vomit though is just free casting. Barry Tombix finds Joel. Geb not good enough to make him live. Bologna on top of the Agni. Agni just putting out damage. Kepri still here. So right now it's a 1-for-2 for the side of the Otters if they still choose to siege, but they will back off after losing their ADC.
But at this point, take it as it is. You traded 1 or 2 to 1.
Win for the Ice Age.
It was a win for the Ice Age, but you're gonna take what you got with the Cyberpunk Otters. Let's regroup. Let's go get a little bit more farm. Let's get these last items finished and try to get everybody to 20, and then really be able to siege at that point.
15-7, nothing, about a 13k gold lead still. So they didn't get the Phoenix, but they just saw some of their siege potential. They got it half without EFG. Imagine if they had EFG.
Yeah, they would have been able to clear that. But again, good job by Ice Age being patient. Not forcing, not chasing. For kills or anything like that. You defended. You did exactly what you're supposed to. Back, heal up, get you guys up. Let's get some farm, but be smart about it at the same time. Don't get caught out. Thoth.
You see now, just teams going back to farming. 28 minutes. It's not a big group just yet. But looks like Pyromats are going to be looked at here for the Otters in about a couple seconds.
Not like it. Yeah.
Off getting caught though.
I literally just said don't get caught out. He walked right into it.
Gets picked, and that could just be another go button for this Otter team, as they're going to look for maybe another one if they're not careful. Looking to shove down mid. Bologna gonna back. Ishtar walking into mid lane. Gonna be able to get under this Phoenix. And interestingly, Otters are opting to siege this without Fire Giant. Fire Giant not up just yet. Huge stun coming out of the Thor, getting 2. Geb gonna get plucked here by the Kepri. Eagles rally on both the backline. Huge Earthbreaker into Thor, but not enough as Fenrir picks up the Thor. And meanwhile, Vomit free casting the backline, solos the backline. It is just now the tanks of the Ice Age, and they don't last long as they die, and now the Rootin' Tootin' Rodent shoot up the saloon and win the set 2-1 in dominant fashion.
I literally said don't get caught out, and what happened? That was the go button for the Cyberpunk Otters. Well done. Very well organized, communicative team. They looked really good to finish off this set. Good job to the Ice Age. You guys had very good key moments. But again, Cyberpunk Otters, they just were able to communicate their dives and what they were doing a lot better.
Yeah, Rootin' Tootin' Rodents, also known as the Cyberpunk Otters, not on April Fool's Day. Uh, very clean games. I know they lost game two, but they definitely had control of that for the first 20 minutes or so. Always had control of this game, had control of the majority of game one. So the Otters just looking like the better team despite it going to 2-1. Ice Age, nice effort, but I believe Otters definitely just came out here and just looked like the better team.
Yeah, they were in control of all three games. It literally was one team fight that went bad, which led to a Gold Fury, which just led to the Ice Age being able to recover, take the momentum from them, and end the game. So, but Cyberpunk Otters, I wouldn't put it past them if they don't lose another game this season, especially if they keep comms and working together like they did there and getting better. That was a very, very clean game three from them.
Well said, Mr. Balls. But with that, though, we must have to wrap this up pretty quickly. It's 10:30 p.m. on the East Coast, so this has been Frank's retirement home, Walker's division, Cyberpunk Otters 2-1 the Ice Age. This has been Dirty Bubble, King Ballers to my left, right, and above me, and our beautiful cameraman, woman, or whatever they identify as, Salty on the camera. And we must bid you all a good night, and please join us for our next cat within the next couple of days.
Have a good one.